Are you winning? Do you need help in your life or business? Could you use some inspiration, business strategies, and success principles? I'm Daniel Gomez, award-winning business coach, keynote speaker, and best-selling author. On the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, we will help you create a successful life and elevate your business. Together, we will discover the keys that unlock your success and dreams. Welcome back to another episode of the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, where we motivate you, we inspire you, and yes, we educate you. And today we got a special treat for you. I'll tell you what, I'm excited. It's been a while since I did a solo episode, and I just felt in my heart today it was a great day to do a solo episode. So many great things happening in life, so many great things happening in business, and DG Enterprises is just exploding. I'm grateful to God for everything that He's doing for us. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a great, great finish to 2024. And today, what I wanted to talk about is it's you. Are you in some way, some form, self-sabotaging yourself? Yes. Are you in some way or some form, are you self-sabotaging yourself? So many times we don't even realize that we're doing something to ourselves that we're not aware of that is a form of self-sabotage. So today, get out your pen and paper. You know how I always say it here on the show, get out your pen, get out your paper, and take notes. Because, like we say here on the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, what you write down, you retain over 50% of it. And I want you to retain this because this is going to be a pretty deep episode, because I'm going to talk a little bit about myself also and just things that I've been through and how I noticed how I have self-sabotaged myself. So let's do this. I'm excited. So get out your pen, get out your papers, and let's get this show on the road. The first thing I want to talk about is think about when you first began your journey. You first began your journey and you were so excited, you were so hungry just to become that new entrepreneur, to become that new business owner, that in a sense you did everything it took. You stayed up late, you went the extra mile, and you were doing everything you had to do. You were pushing through the hard times. And then what happens at some point, maybe it's after 6 months, maybe it's after a year or a year and a half for you, depending on where you're at on your journey, it's you hit a level of success. And then you hit a level of success where you're making more monies, more revenue than you ever had before in a previous job that you had working 9 to 5. A form of self-sabotage that sets in is you stop doing the things that you used to do to get to where you're at. Let me say that again. One form of self-sabotage is you stop doing the things you did when you first began to get you to where you are in that level of success. And I say this to you because it's something that I experienced on my journey. I never forget that when we started our business in 2018, we went full-time, burned all the ships. And next thing you know, it's just Daniel and from scratch, ground zero, new business. The beautiful thing about that is it really challenged me to look within myself and to become resourceful with what I did have. I didn't have the employees. We didn't have the office that we have now. We didn't have the business that we have. And I had to just really be resourceful with the tools, with the people, with the situation that was around us in business. And I just did anything it took. I stayed up late, went the extra mile, knocking on doors, and I was hungry. But something happened when I hit the revenue of 250,000. I kind of found myself getting comfortable. And one of the main reasons is because when I was in the automotive industry, I would average making anywhere from $175,000 to $250,000 a year. That was our general salary for the position that I was at, running the Chevrolet dealership and some other dealerships here in South Texas. So my financial thermostat was around that point, around $250,000, 200,000 in that era. And soon as we hit that mark of revenue in our business, I started getting complacent and unaware I was doing this. Now I started self-sabotaging because I took the pedal, right? I took my foot off the pedal of gas and I wasn't accelerating as I was, but I couldn't see it. And the thing is this, is when you start self-sabotaging, it's It's not, it doesn't stand out. It's not like a big old bright light that says, hey, I'm over here. And one of the biggest forms, I want you to write this down because one of the biggest forms of self-sabotage is procrastination. You heard me. Yes, procrastination. Write that down. Maybe you're procrastinating following up with the client that you met with a week ago, yesterday, and you said, I'll just call them later. Why don't you call them right now? Why don't you follow up with that prospect, follow up with that potential client right now instead of putting it off till later? Why are you waiting? See, it's little things like that that are procrastination that causes, and that's a form of self-sabotage. Or you know that you want to go to the gym. You know that you want to feel better about yourself. You know that you want to feel beautiful about yourself, ladies. And you say, well, I'll go to the gym tomorrow, or I don't feel like it. Guys, also, there's a lot of times that I don't feel like it, but it's amazing how you hit a level of success. It could be in business and revenue. It could be maybe you were on this health kick when you started off 2024 and you had a goal to lose XYZ pounds and to weigh a certain weight by the beginning of summer. Now summer's already coming to an end. We're entering fall, and all the hard work you put in, all the workouts, all the runs you did, all the healthy eating, it just went out the window because you hit your ideal weight. And now, as we're coming to the other end of summer, on the other side of summer, you're like, uh-oh, what's going on? My pants ain't fitting the same. This skirt ain't fitting the same. This blouse isn't fitting the same. It happens. And that's exactly what happened to me when we hit a certain level of success back in 2021. I found myself procrastinating on my workouts. Let me explain. Because I was working out, I was putting in the reps, I was showing up to the gym, I was showing up and doing the weightlifting and the running and everything else associated with that. But the thing is this, I was just going through the motion. I was going through the motion of working out. I was going through the motion of going to the gym. I mean, I was doing my sets, I was doing my reps, but I really wasn't pushing myself. My mindset, my attitude wasn't what it is today, right? I didn't have the millionaire mind that I have today that I was pushing myself one more set, one more rep, one more set, one more rep. And then I found myself on in Miami Bay there and with one of my amazing clients, Jared Cora, and we were there hanging out. And then we were on this yacht party with Floyd Mayweather, and it was just amazing. And then there was this house that I really, really loved. And I told one of the guys there on the yacht, I said, I'm gonna have a house like that one day. And he kind of chuckled and said, yeah. And we just kind of went on, and it was a great time there on the bay. But the thing is, this is when I got back to the hotel that evening, that night, I looked at my phone and I was looking through the pictures and I was looking at just how the day went, and it was a great time. But then there was a picture that I saw that kind of hit me in the heart. It struck me, struck one of my chords, and it was a picture of me. And I didn't realize, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't realize how chubby my cheeks had gotten. I didn't realize that had gained some weight because I was complacent. And I said, wow, like I looked at the picture and I said this to myself, and I'm being totally transparent, 100%. I said, the guy right here, this version of Daniel will never be able to buy that house in Miami Bay, that mansion. Because I looked at a picture of a gentleman, which was me, in a place of complacency because of the success that he had reached, the success that he had hit in life and in business. And I had to get real with myself. I had to be honest with Daniel, right? I had to be honest with me and the guy in the mirror, which is me. And man, it was a hard pill to swallow, but I made a decision that day. I called my trainer right now, Reggie, and I said, Reggie, you've been wanting to train me for the past several months, even year, and then I just been putting it off, but I want you to be at my house on Monday. Let's do this. Let's get this training program done. I'm in. I'm all in. And he thought I was joking. He goes, Daniel, whatever. I'm like, no, like for real. Like, I'll see you at my house Monday. If not, I'm going to hire somebody else because I knew at that moment in my life that I had gotten complacent and I was self-sabotaging myself because the awareness came on, right? The awareness light came on. And I was like, man, I didn't realize how much weight I had gained and my cheeks were chubby. So I want you to write this question down right now. Write this question down right now for yourself. Where in my life may I be self-sabotaging myself? Where in my life, where in my business may I be self-sabotaging myself? Where? See, because so many times in life, so many times in business, we live on a surface level. We live up here. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're doing it here, but you're not seeing what's below the surface. You're not seeing all the things that you're doing that are not helping you because you're unaware of it. I say this in many of my trainings, especially when we do our makings of a millionaire mind bootcamp, is 95% of your life, ladies and gentlemen, is lived on autopilot. It's lived on autopilot. 95% of it. You're not even aware of what you're doing. And less than 5%, you're cognitively aware of what you're doing. And the reason I say that is because many of us, like myself, I wasn't aware that I was self-sabotaging myself by just going through the motions, not pushing myself. I had gotten complacent. I didn't want to see that. And then I was procrastinating on really hiring Reggie, procrastinating on other things. So I really want you to take this episode to heart and ask yourself and go deeper. How may I be self-sabotaging myself? Another form of self-sabotage that happens is that we start comparing ourselves. We start comparing ourselves to another speaker, another book publisher, another trainer, another boxer, whatever you may be doing in your industry. You start comparing yourself. And nothing can kill your dream like comparison. And one thing that's helped me is right now, I want you to go get a book. Go get a book right now. I have my new book right here, Sales Accelerator. It's coming out here. We did a soft launch, and we're going to do some minor edits to it because some of us, we got many pre-orders. So I wanted this book to be next level. So we'll just pretend that this is a book you have. So go get a book right now from your bookshelf, and maybe it's your book. And if you don't have a book and you've been wanting to write a book, or reach out to us here at DG Publishing. You see the sign behind me right here. You can be our next published author, and we'd love to help you. But the reason I want you to get this book out is I want to put an anchor in your subconscious mind. I want to put an anchor deep down in your subconscious mind. Another form of self-sabotage that we do to ourselves is that we start comparing our chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 10. Or we compare our chapter 5 as an entrepreneur to someone else's chapter 20. And they have many, many more years of experience. And a great example of that is myself right now. I've been in business going on 7 years. And we've been doing great. We've been doing phenomenal. This January will be 7 years that we've been in business. And I'm grateful to God. Glory be to God that we even made it past the 5-year mark. And now that we're approaching the 7-year mark, God is just so good. But it's easy for me to see, like my own personal coach, he's been in business over a quarter century, right? Over 25 years he's been in business, and he's doing phenomenal. He's doing a lot more revenue. He's hitting over the 10 million mark, and we're going there. We're not there yet, but it's easy to say, man, and beat yourself up and be hard. Well, how come my revenue's not where it needs to be? How come? Because I'm still learning. I'm still learning, and I'm still growing, and I'm still maturing in so many aspects of life and in business, and it's okay. So I want you to write that question down right now for yourself, because I really want this episode to just drop massive value to all of our audience out there, and ask yourself, where am I comparing myself? Where in my life, where in my business am I comparing myself to someone else? Where am I comparing my chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 12? Where am I comparing my chapter 5 to someone else's chapter 20? And because you're comparing yourself, it's killing your dreams. It's killing you from putting in that extra effort, that extra, just all the extra things that you need to do to get your business to the next level. And it breaks my heart, because this is something that I used to really struggle with probably about 4 years ago. It's just, I would look at the person to the left, look at the person to the right, and I would ask myself, man, like, why can't I be there yet? And many times the truth is this, is I didn't have the resilience. I didn't have the resolve. I didn't have the capacity that I do now for business. My whole way of thinking is different. When God told me to write our book, The Makings of a Millionaire Mind, in 2021, never did I imagine that it was going to evolve as it exploded onto the personal growth industry in 2022. And now I speak all over the world in the makings of a millionaire mind in business. It's phenomenal. It opened up so many doors for me, and it's still doing it. But I had to be ready. And sometimes in business, we think we're ready. We really truly believe in some way or fashion that we're ready for business and to that next level, and we're not. And maybe for you, it's a capacity issue. Maybe it's a character issue. I always say if God can't trust you with 100, he definitely can't trust you with 1,000. If he can't trust you with 1,000, he can't trust you with hundreds of thousands, much less millions. Or maybe it's a maturity issue. For me, this year, just really getting our corporate office now and not working from home and the studios and the offices that we've been working out these past 6 years, and really getting that corporate office in a corporate building, it just really took our business to another level. But I realized, like, I got really comfortable in working from our home studio, and even though we were very successful, now we have a team. Now we have our director of operations, Jacob Davis. We have some amazing people with our client specialists, and it's really taken off to another level. And God is good, right? We have our sales team, and it's beautiful. But I say that to you because I had to mature in certain areas of leadership again. Because to be honest, and I'm just being honest with you, right? Because if you can't be honest with yourself, who can you be honest with? And I'm being honest with myself. I got so used to working by myself for the past 6 years. Yes, we have our team that does our book publishing and our full-time employees on the back end, but on the front end, it's totally different because you're not seeing these people every day. You're not seeing certain individuals every day. And now we go to the office and we're breaking bread, seeing each other, and you got personalities to deal with. So really ponder on this and ask yourself, am I really ready for the next level that I'm wanting to? Because what happens is you start to really, when you don't hit that level of success that you think you're ready for, then you start to self-sabotage in the form of negative talk. You start just saying things like, man, I'm never good enough. I can't do anything right. Am I already caught up for this? And then your language goes south, right? Your language goes sideways. And the truth is this is we don't realize how powerful the words that we speak to ourselves on a daily basis, how they really form and frame our future. Write this down. When I start doing negative self-talk, it's a form of self-sabotage. And the problem with that is that you start to say the words that are going to destroy the very business you're wanting to create, because now the words that you're speaking are not words of life, they're words of death. And we start saying business is slow, nothing ever goes right for me. We start worrying about interest rates if you're in real estate. And the truth is this is that, man, there's a lot of business out there. There's a lot of people that need your service, your product. So you got to get out of that mindset. You got to stop self-sabotaging yourself with that negative self-talk. Like, that's the worst thing that you can do. Because the reality is this, is you are amazing. You are a very successful businessman. You are a very successful businesswoman. You're talented. You're important. And the biggest thing of all is you're blessed and victorious. Let me say it again. You are blessed and victorious. That needs to be your mindset. These are the affirmations that I tell myself day in, day out. I am blessed and victorious. I am a winner. I am a champion. I am a billionaire. I love myself. I believe in myself. I am generating new revenue every day. I choose to speak life over myself intentionally when I kind of go into that dip and start really going down that road where, nope, can't go there, because now I know what the self-sabotage looks like. So I really want you to understand that there's so many facets, there's so many ways that you yourself as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, there's so many ways that you can start to self-sabotage and you're not even aware of it. You just think that you're just being you. And I really want you to look at this. Look at yourself in the mirror. And I really want you to look into your eyes and give yourself credit to how far you've come in life and how far you've come in business. because I got a promise for you that you're going to make it. You know how I know you're going to make it? Because you're looking at yourself in the mirror right now and you're listening to this episode. And the very fact that you're listening to this episode tells me that you're not done yet. It tells me that you got hope. And I think about that story of Abraham in the Bible. Against all hope, Abraham believed in hope. And he put his hope in God. And I'll tell you that I know that sometimes things get tough in business and things aren't easy. Believe me, 2024 has been a year of growth and maturity. I've been forced to grow in so many ways. And amidst the adversity that we've encountered at DG Enterprises, it was inevitable. Amidst the adversity that we've encountered, the challenges, the roadblocks, all the punches that we've taken in the gut. Listen to this. God has still blessed us. God has still blessed us tremendously. And we've grown in the first quarter, in the second quarter. And now as we enter into the third quarter, we're still growing. But it hasn't been easy. So that's why I want you to look at yourself in the mirror right now and celebrate yourself and recognize, look at how far you've come. You're not where you used to be. Admit, right? Amidst all the mistakes that I've made this year, I'm not where I used to be. I'm not where I was in 2023. I'm definitely not where I was in 2022, and I'm definitely not where I was in 2021. Now we're having retreats at our lake house. You know, God bless us with a new facility where we have our writers retreat on the lake. We just had our mastermind at the lake and all these different experiences that we're able to give to our clients. And it's phenomenal. We're about to have our speaker mastermind there at the lake house. And I share this with you because I need to really look at myself and celebrate myself sometimes, because sometimes I can be my worst critic. And maybe you can be your worst critic too. But I want you to stop doing that to yourself. I want you to stop being hard on yourself, because that negative self-talk, man, if there's a form of self-sabotage that can take you down, that is one of the biggest ones. So I really want you to think about that. Where do you need to give yourself more credit, and where do you need to just be kinder to yourself? And I want you to understand this. I want you to understand this, that maybe you don't feel like doing certain things every day. Everything that you desire in your life, everything that you desire in your business is on the other side of I don't feel like it. Let me say that again. I want you to write that down. Everything, everything that you want in life, everything that you want in business is on the other side of I don't feel like it. And you have to be intentional. In our book, The Makings of a Millionaire Mind, we talk about that word intentional. Go get your copy. It's an Audible right now. It's an amazing book. We've sold thousands and thousands of copies, helped so many people. And we say the word intentional in there because you have to be intentional on making yourself do the things you need to do when you don't feel like it. Because another form of self-sabotage is that how many times do you start and then you stop? You start and then you stop. You start and then you stop. So you never get the power of momentum going behind you, because you're always you do great for a month, and then you stop for a month, and then you start again for another month, and then you stop for 2 months. And you never build up consistency, and you never get to where you want to be in your life. You never get where you want to be in your health. You never get where you want to be in your relationships, in your financial arena of life. Like, you never get there because you're always starting and stopping. So I want to encourage you, stop the self-sabotaging of starting and stopping and killing your own momentum, because you're allowing your discouragement to keep you down instead of really bouncing back up and pushing through that adversity, pushing through that. And I can tell you, I can say this with confidence, because think about this. When we started our business back in, the seed was planted in 2017. We formed our business in 2018. I started our business. Well, we started our business when my wife, Marty, was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2017. The same season, the same time that Marty had a double mastectomy, was recovering from 8 major surgeries. 8 major surgeries. You heard me right? 8 major surgeries. We launched DG Enterprises. And I never looked back. I never looked back. I just kept going. I burned the bridges. I cried. I was frustrated. So many things just were coming off of me. All these labels, all these lies, all this junk that was inside of me was coming out. And it was in that year it was very, very hard for me. I'm just being totally transparent. And maybe you're thinking, man, like, is it worth it? And I can tell you, going into our 7th year, it was worth it. It was worth the wine glasses that I broke. It was worth the recycle bins that I beat up, because there was days that I was just so frustrated because I really felt lost in what I was doing, because I was in transition from who I was to who God was creating me in business. It wasn't easy. I felt lonely. I felt isolated. My wife was going through her own struggles of recovering from surgery after surgery, and just finding her own confidence and finding her own identity now with just everything that she was going through on her breast cancer journey. And it wasn't easy. And many people see us now and they're like, man, you got it made, you got it easy, but they don't know. Many people don't know the struggles that me and my wife had been through. And it's never easy. And it costs more than what you think. It's going to cost you more than what you think. So the last thing I want you to do, think about this. In life and business, we have so many things coming against us already. We have so many things that want to bring us down. We have so many people that used to support you in the beginning, get jealous of you. So many people that used to lift your name up, now they want to tarnish your name. So many things that when you're not in the room, people want to talk about you behind your back. All these things are going to happen because part of the journey is getting thicker skin. And that's something that I had to understand. And I love what my coach says. He goes, Daniel, just say this: thank you, I owe you. Thank you, I owe you. So now when somebody goes off on the deep end and they do something stupid, it's like, I don't try to retaliate. Don't try to get mad. I say, thank you, I owe you. Thank you for showing me who you really are. Because we already have enough coming against us as it is. So why do you want to go out there? Just let them be. God is with you. God will defend you. God will triple your revenue. God will replace double what was taken from you. Trust me, because I've experienced that. So go back and listen to this episode again. Listen to this episode and really study it, and go deeper, and really ask yourself the questions that we asked in this episode. To be honest with yourself, where in my life, where in my business may I be self-sabotaging myself? And think about what we talked about in this episode. I guarantee you that you're probably not aware of some of the things you're doing to yourself, and it's okay, right? That's why we have the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, to help you, to encourage you. And maybe you're like, Daniel, man, I'm loving what I'm hearing. Well, come to our boot camp. We're having our makings of a millionaire mind boot camp here November 22nd, 23rd, here in San Antonio, Texas. We're bringing in some amazing speakers. I'm going to be speaking myself, and I want to help you. The boot camp changes lives. We just had our Sticker Shock Speaking Academy this past weekend, and let me tell you, we had so many speakers that came and opened up their heart, and something unlocked in them because they were just trapped in their own body, right? We suppress our emotions, we suppress our feelings, and they spoke on stage and they have a sense of freedom. And I share that with you because so many times in life, we suppress our feelings, we suppress how we feel, and that's another form of self-sabotage. So stop doing that to yourself. Stop holding stuff in. Stop holding the traumas, the hurts, the pain. Stop holding it in. Release it. And the way to release it is through speaking, and many of our speakers experienced that here this past weekend. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Let me know what your big takeaway was. It was just what was on my heart to speak about today. And just know that you're not alone. I want to invite you to come reach out to me if you need help in business coaching, or you want to publish your next book, or you want to attend our Learn Mind Bootcamp, which I really attend. Like, reach out to us here at DG Enterprises. Reach out to me personally. Daniel Gomez Inspires, 210-663-5954. That's 210-663-5954. I want to help you. I don't care how many times we get hurt in business. I've learned that there's always someone else that needs a helping hand. My heart is always open to help you. And know that you're not alone. Know that you're listening to this episode today because somebody was praying and looking for a sign. God, give me a sign. What is it? And you stumbled upon our podcast on YouTube, on Spotify, on iTunes. And this is the sign that you've been waiting for. So reach out to us. We want to help you. DG Enterprises here in San Antonio, Texas. We love you. Have an amazing day. Thank you for tuning into this show. And know this, that greater is the power behind you, which is Almighty God, than any task in front of you. We'll see you next week with another amazing guest here on the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. Thank you for joining us. And if this episode blessed you, please share it with a friend. This is Daniel Gomez Inspires, and thank you for listening to our show today. Please share this episode with a friend, leave us a review, and subscribe to our show. And for listening to our show today, I want to give you a free gift. I want to invite you to our Millionaire Mind community. Text the word millionaire, that's millionaire, to 210-942-5059. Yes, join our community today and receive millionaire affirmations, inspirational quotes on a weekly basis. That's 210-942-5059. Text the word millionaire today and join our community. And once again, thank you for listening to our show.